Hello guys, it's Boris again. Let's do the final implementation of our plan. We have implemented this part in Java language, right? Okay. And we need to implement on our site. We were here and we want to consume this service, web service, as software service. We have a documentation here, right, in Swagger. This documentates our API, our endpoints. It's really cool. Okay, and now our product owner tells us integrate this service into our company. This was company X, this was company Y. And for the versioning, why we use V1, for example, because imagine here on API V1 calc we have this functionality, but we upgrade our service and to V2 we expose a new functionality, better functionality, x by n rise to I. So if we were using this endpoint and other clients beside us use this endpoint also, we want to change to the new functionality, but we need time. We implement the new solution, new integration, and we start using this endpoint and we stop using the old one, for example, but other clients of this service can still use this version 1 endpoint. So this is the drill here. Okay, let's implement this part of the implementation. We choose Java Maven, the latest version of Spring. Let's call it Company X, calculator consumer. We use jar packaging. I explained why we do this in another video. We choose Java version 21. For the dependencies, we choose Spring Web, Lombok, Spring Boot DevTools for the live rewards, and we generate the project. Okay. Put it here and delete the compressed file. Let's open this project in parallel here. Okay. We need idea projects, calculator consumer. Okay. Open a new window this project. Okay, it's pretty new right now. What we need, let's define packages, service for a service layer, controller, data. In the data we want subpackage DTO. We want some configurations for our REST client. Okay, and let's start by defining the configuration for our REST client. Okay, REST client config. This will be a configuration file. Okay, with bin REST template. REST template is the REST client in Spring. We can make some configurations here, but we will use the default implementation. It's enough for now. Let's define DTOs. Now let's imagine it's a real scenario. So we open this application, we run in timing, we open the Swagger, and we see here the input and the result. So what are the field names, what are the types? Like see here, the result is in DTO. The result is input DTO type. Again, inside there are number and double. There's composition going on here. Okay. Let's create those DTOs in this service. So I can copy paste them actually. Input DTO. Only the packages will be different, right? So we can easily do this. Okay, input DTO and result DTO. Save some time. Okay. Let's fix the package. Let's company X. It should be calculate consumer data DTO. Everything's okay. We can put JSON ignore properties here. What this does is if in this payload comes, for example, value, a property, for example, UUID, it will be ignored. And still the thoughts of deserialization of this payload will not be disturbed. So it is good practice sometimes have this here. Okay, let's define the service. Let's start consumer calculator consumer service. Okay, we want a function that return the result DTO consume calculation. Okay, we take input DTO. Let's now create the implementation for this. Okay, this service, we annotate it with service. Here we want to put the business logic, so we want some path variables. Base path. What is the base path? Base path is from the other service, right? This is the base path, and the calculator path is, it's not calculator actually, it's calculate, right? Calculate, okay. we have the path, and okay, let's implement our interface. Okay, now we want the REST template here injected via constructor injection. Okay, now we create a constructor for it and annotate it without wired annotation. It complains it's not used anywhere, so it will be used in a second. We define URI from URI component builder from HTTP URL, for example. Calculate. I should like to name it with path. Okay, let's import the URI class. Calculate path here. To URI string. Actually, build URI. Okay. Now we need headers. Set content type. Yeah, I want to see the suggestions. Wow. Why? Why the whole package name with the class? I don't understand this. This intelligating. So we set the headers here, and now we need HTTP entity with the input, our input request. Okay, here comes the payload from our side, and here comes the headers to define this application JSON payload for the request, and we use REST template. Okay, I will break down the suggestion. We pass the URI, we pass the request which contains the payload information and the headers, and we expect the result to be deserialized in this result.io class. Okay, now we have c result.io, but we will return directly here from this function. In reality, we should use post for entity, maybe, because we will not get the result directly here, and we will get response here, and we can tell, hey, if the response status code is starting with 200, return me the result, or let's say here throw some unchecked exception like runtime exception. We will improve this. It's not good practice to don't handle the status codes, to don't handle the exceptions. I will show you later how to globally handle all exceptions and other tricks. So now we will call the first service. Now I want to define a server port here. different than the first application because we will have collision here. So let us put this in debug mode. Okay. Okay. Done. We are up and running here. This is our software service app, and this is our second tab. But wait, we don't have a controller. Let's define it. Press controller, request mapping, API v1. Okay. Post mapping, calculate. Yes, but the return time type should be result DTO. We need request body result input DTO. Okay. And we can directly return from the service here, but we should inject the service, right? With the constructor injection. Okay. And we should return here directly. But let's see if this will start from the first time. It will be very cool. So we are at company Higgs at port 8080 at this application. You see, we have just implemented it, and we should request with number and power. This is the input DTO. Okay, then we step forward. Wow, we have an exception over the URI. Let me see. Oh, I forgot, sorry. We should concatenate the base path with the calculator. This is the cool thing about the URI, because this is not correct URI to don't have host, port, and so on. And we got the exception. I don't expect to have one this time. Okay, we have the URI. You can see down here, right? Okay. We have the headers. In the request, we set the input DTO and the headers. And now we hit the other service. And voila, we are in the other service. See, in the filters, when I show the filters in the last video, we can get the IP of the person here with the security. Before the security filters, we execute this custom filter. We are dumping the information here, remote address and local port. Okay, we can get the country also in the response. So okay, I continue here. We do the math. Okay, and we return the result. The result is returned. Here is the locale for English and BG for Bulgaria, which I reside. And now we have a response in our first service. The first service is this with 1990. So what happened here? I will draw it for the beginners. The status code of the response is starting with 2, so it is successful. You see 2xx. We have 11 headers, and so on. And we have result DTO with the result and the input DTO like we accepted it, and we return. And voila, here is the result. What is the difference now from the first time? Let's break it down. We can directly hit company Y software service with some parameters here. All right. Okay, I will leave the debug mode for the both of the applications because it's a bit cumbersome. Okay. We can directly hit here the application. We can change the parameters and so on. Okay. But the difference is now what we are doing is we are hitting this endpoint from company X, and in other words, we have a web application written in Spring Boot that makes this call here, and we expect the result here. This is the difference. So, for example, to make it clear what we have done, we had the SaaS before this video, okay, with the function inside it, and now we have implemented this part where we are the consumers of this service. Okay, now we send a request here from inside the application, and we got a response here, and we can continue. We can use this result to communicate with other application on our side. So later we will improve this app and this app in the later videos with good practices. I will explain them, and later we can implement more things. We can put Kafka in this whole thing. We will do the hashing for sure with Redis. We will have a session here, and we will cache the calculated results. And if you have any suggestions how to extend this whole picture, let me know in the comments. Or if you want to explain something that I didn't explain right here. But yeah, forgot for company Y for now. We are company X, company Y is not in our field. We pass some parameters here, and we use this software as service from our side. Okay, thank you for your attention, and see you in the next videos. Bye.